Okay, I want to welcome you to the Hertford County High School History Curriculum Night. I am Coach Saxby. I am the African American history teacher, and just want to share with you what we have as far as history. Just kind of give you an idea of what we've been working on for the past month. You know, we started with World War II and African Americans' contribution in World War II. Things we talked about were how the African Americans migrated to factory work. They migrated to inner cities, and this thing led to race riots. We also covered the contributions of the Tuskegee Airmen. Okay. Then we moved to the Civil Rights Movement. Civil Rights Movement, we covered Dr. Martin Luther King and his nonviolent protest. We've also been covering Malcolm X and his influence on the black culture and the growth of the Nation of Islam. We also covered the NAACP supportive role of prominent African Americans.
Coach Pew here, American History. This past year, first American History 1, we talk about basically the colonies, how they were developed, the reason why the people came over here from Europe, different issues and things that occurred in Europe that allowed them, that wanted them to come and make a change. And we pretty much started there and then went straight into the revolution. Felt like, of course, we talked a little about Jamestown and Yorktown or whatever, but however, we went right into the revolution because revolution plays a big part of what we're going through right now in terms of the Black Lives Matter movement. And I try to cultivate a lot of things that's happening today into what's going on that went on in the past so they can really understand it and through their perspective. All right, so that's American One. American One goes all the way from Revolution all the way up to right after the Civil War, Reconstruction. Quite naturally, Reconstruction was pretty much a period where a lot of African Americans started getting some liberties. They're moving up to the north. They're finding better places to stay because they're tired of the Southern way of life and the racism and whatnot. So they're moving to the west and the north to find a better way of life. And they're taking advantage of Homestead Act, where they pretty much allowed to get some land from the federal government, even though they did have some issues with that as well. Going into the American History 2, we go straight out of Reconstruction into the basically era of inventions. A lot of inventions coming in, and we have the Great Migration. I guess you could say first or second. Some people say second migration, but it's a Great Migration came in with a lot of people from Europe come in to Ellis and Angel Island. It caused clash of cultural wars against people, particularly in the north. After that, we go into pretty much World War I, where it's the era, I guess you could say, the economy was booming. We went from very booming economy. We actually started getting women to realize that they can work in the factories, and they also end up becoming hard workers during World War I. And as a result, they end up gaining their, I guess you could say, more freedoms because at the end of, I guess, 1920 and whatnot, they got the voting rights and things of that nature. And then they were allowed to work more, because before then they weren't allowed to work. And a lot of them were really considered property of the man. From World War I, we're going to Roaring 20s with the Harlem Renaissance, and the reason why the Roaring 20s was going on right now. What I'm currently going on now is after World War II, but the Roaring 20s was very important because it showed a festivity of, I guess you could say, era of good feeling amongst people in all cultures, especially the Harlem Renaissance, where you had African Americans and white Americans, Asian and Italians all mingling together, enjoying and having a good time, and it resulted in a lot of new things being developed. But right after the era of good feeling, you had the Great Depression, which everything pretty much shut down to a slow crawl, which really in particular, the Roaring 20s sounds so eerily similar to what's going on today. And I hope we don't get the same result at the end of the Roaring 20s of Great Depression, because going through Great Depression, a lot of people are losing a land, a lot of people losing houses, the bank shut down, things of that nature, and we eventually ended up going to World War II after Pearl Harbor. So that's where we are right now. After Pearl Harbor, we're going into the Cold War into civil rights. That's what we're talking about today. All right, that's American History 1 and 2 in a nutshell.
Good evening, everyone. I am Mr. Wesley. I am the world history teacher. I have my contact information here for anyone needing to contact me with any concerns. My planning time is from 11:15 to 1:15. If you need a conference, please schedule during this time or after school. I would much rather you schedule during my planning period. Okay, moving on. Course expectations. The desired outcome of this course is that students develop relevant, enduring understandings of current world issues and relate them to their historical, political, economic, geographical, and cultural context. Students taking this course will broaden their historical perspectives as they explore ways societies have dealt with continuity and change, exemplified by concepts such as civilization, revolution, government, economics, war, stability, movement, technology, etc. A lot of big words, but pretty much we just study the world and we study how everything sort of relates to each other and how things, started from the very beginning and got to where we are today. All right. All right, some tips for success. Complete assignments in Canvas in a timely manner. This is extremely important because if you don't turn the assignments in, you not get credit. Use class time wisely. This goes back to completing assignments in Canvas. Please use your time wisely in class. I give plenty of opportunities for students to complete assignments during class time so they don't have a whole lot of homework. So please, students, use your class time wisely. And then give 100% effort. If you try hard, work hard, you will succeed in my class. And that's it.
Greetings. My name is Ms. Smith. I teach biology here at Hertford County High School.
And I am Ms. Dickens. I teach biology as well.
Biology is going to be the study of life. So, with the study of life, what we try to do is we create real world scenarios. And one of the reasons why I've always loved science is the fact that science is ever changing. 2 + 2 will always be 4. But when you're dealing with science, there's always something new to discover. So that was the draw in for me. And that's why I try to encourage my kids to be as proactive as possible as far as the learning process. Learning new things, trying new things, just experimenting, because you never know what will be the outcome.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and give you a quick synopsis of what we do in biology. First of all, they are required to have a 3-ring binder. We have weekly notebook checks on Fridays. And we give out a vocabulary list the week before, and they are due the following Friday. They will have a vocabulary test and note cards based off of that list the next Friday. We do this weekly, and you can make up notebooks that are missed, but you have to do it only on Fridays. We also allow the students to make up work and retake any work that they have scored low on. They can do this with Ms. Smith on Tuesdays from 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. and with me on Wednesdays from 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. The lists are posted in Canvas and they can access the codes there, and all of the assignments are given in SchoolNet Secure Tester. Our grade distribution is quizzes are 35% because we do give them more frequency. Homework is 15%, tests are 15%, and notebook and classwork are 35%. You can reach either of us at the email emails on the screen. fsmith@hertford.k12.nc.us, mdickens@hertford.k12.nc.us. Our office hours are from 8 a.m. to 9:20 a.m. Any calls received after 3:30 p.m. will be returned the next business day during the hours of 8 and 3:30. Now, Ms. Smith will give you more information about the course.
With this course, we go over four broad topics. We go over ecology, which is the study of life and how life interacts with their environment. Molecular biology, where we talk about DNA, the structure and shape of DNA, cell structure and function, and we also talk about genetics. With the biology course, of course, it's an EOC course, and with that, we stress vocabulary a lot. So therefore, weekly vocabulary note cards are due every Friday. We give the vocabulary list one Friday, and then the vocabulary note cards are due the following Fridays, because vocabulary is going to be essential to making sure they pass their biology EOC.
I'm Dr. Eddie W. Benson, science teacher at Hertford County High School. I do teach physical science this year. On today, we are just going to look at the basic components of the physical science course. As you see in the slide here, physical science is a mathematical science. It is different from the prior sciences such as earth science and also biology. You have to use the techniques learned in earth science and biology and also employ your mathematical skills. It is the foundational course for chemistry and other upper level sciences. We are always trying to have a successful transition from the middle school to the high school because those math skills are going to definitely be needed in the higher grades. This is a one semester course. These are some of the topics that we will employ throughout the semester. Chemistry is a big part where our major focus is on the periodic table of elements, how elements interact with one another, forming compounds through various chemical reactions. We also look at the physics part where we deal with motion, force, different forms of energy, and also we connect these different topics to everyday life, everyday living, making it relevant to our students based upon where we are. In the physical science course, this course consists of virtual labs, Canvas is used daily, a notebook is required for my course. There are interactive lessons, some activities will be hands-on, and students have to do oral presentations in my class as a preparation for their senior year. And teaching does take place every day. Expectation of students: attend class. If you don't come to school, well then you're not taking a class. So class attendance is good, having importance, and also good classroom behavior. We must have a classroom that is conducive to learning and that all students will have the free opportunity to learn what they need to learn. Also, we have social emotional learning activities that we will incorporate in our lessons throughout the semester. One of the most important things that you can do for my class is complete assignments in class and online. We will also have weekly vocabulary, independent study projects, and progress reports, and report cards are issued on a regular basis. And you can also contact me not only through the school email or telephone, but you can also sign up for the Remind app. 5 ways parents can help students. Because they are out of school over the summer, there needs to still be a bridge or connection to education. You can enjoy many things in life and still bring in those components that involve math and science. So plan activities that's not only leisure, but those activities that can also enhance the educational background of your children. Time management skills is also very important. In my class, you do have a lot of work to do. So your time management of your assignments is going to be important, and not only for my class, because of the fact you are now taking upper level sciences, the class workload is going to be greater. So you're going to have to be able to manage your time, not only for the academical piece, but also for the extracurricular activities that we provide. Start talking about college, skill-based employment. When students hit the high school track, grades become much more important. Colleges look at transcripts for all 4 years in high school. Those students that are interested in the branches of the military, they will also be looking at those transcripts. But you need to start off and do well early. You start off well, you'll end up well. It is never too early to get students thinking about life beyond high school, and as a upper level teacher, that is indeed my objective. Build a support system. Know that you're not alone. You have so many people in your life that you can find those connections with, whether it be other peers, whether it be your school counselors, or other people in your family that can help you work this thing out together. Know that you're not alone. Stay involved even in high school. Parents must stay involved with their children. Many times we often stay involved with children at the elementary and also middle school level. However, it is very important that parents stay in contact with their teachers and also talk to your children about what is going on in school. Because overall, what do we want? We want what is best for the child. Thank you.
My name is Billy Cherry. I'm covering for the Earth and Environmental Science. What I started off with this year was rock cycle, and then we went on to types of weathering. Also, we covered earthquakes and volcanoes in our study, and also we went on to the study of the ocean currents, different types of currents that's in the ocean. Also, we all covered groundwater, chemical, and weathering. We covered human impact of the litmosphere and how it impacts the human growth and how it impact the soil, and we also studied the water beneath the surface, which is very important because with the drainage and all those things that go on, dumping in the oceans and so on and so forth will cause the water to go bad. And then we also studied the study of tornadoes and how the tornadoes affect human lives. So many tornadoes has happened in Texas throughout this year, and one big tornado was happening in Texas just a week ago and destroyed homes and so on and so forth. And then we went on to study the river and how the river is important for cargo and certain fishermen and certain things of that nature in the environment of the science piece. And now we are studying ground pollution, surface water, and we're also studying the pollution in the air. And the last part that we just covered was the atmosphere and climate. The atmosphere is very important because of the nature of what we breathe and how we take care of the human part of the atmosphere. And that's what we are covering now.